Hello, everybody. Jonathan Pulley here with West Coast Weather. Today is April 6th, and we're going to talk about the showery weather that's starting to affect the Pacific Northwest over the next couple of days. Then it looks like that we're going to get a bit of a drying trend during the middle of next week for almost the entirety of the West Coast before a colder trough of low pressure moves down over the Pacific Northwest. California looks to remain rather dry over the next week or so, and there's not really going to be too much precipitation for the Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia, but it's just going to be kind of annoying rain showers and light drizzle on and off for the next couple of days. So we'll definitely talk about that. I hope everybody finds these videos informative and enjoyable. Just please hit the like button, subscribe buttons down below if you don't want to miss out on any new videos I make. It also just helps to push up my video the more people to help the YouTube algorithm get my video out. So I hope everybody's having a great day, and let's get right into the forecast now. Now we're looking at general ridge and trough positions on this morning's European model run. Here's Washington, Oregon, California. Here's British Columbia over here. Here's Hawaii all the way down here. You can see general troughing over the West Coast, bringing cooler and kind of off and on rain showers to the Pacific Northwest. You can see over the next day or so, this through later Sunday, this kind of trough starts digging down over California, maybe bringing some precipitation to parts of the Southwest United States. Really not expecting too much with that other than cooler temperatures. But then you can see as we go through early to mid next week, you can see this upper level ridge that starts building over the region. This is going to be very warm temperatures, with temperatures possibly approaching 80 degrees for parts of the central valleys of California. This is also going to bring some drier and nicer weather to the Pacific Northwest for a couple of days next week before, as we can see, this trough of low pressure kind of starts digging down out of British Columbia and the Gulf of Alaska, bringing cooler temperatures and precipitation. It also kind of merges with this cutoff low just to the south of California. It could bring some precipitation to California, so we'll keep an eye on this as we go. Almost all the models have this feature moving down, so make sure that it's going out at any time during this time of the year. Get out and enjoy the sun while you can, because there's always rain around the corner, especially in these early spring months. Now looking at the closer view of things, here's British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, California. This is the 6-hour precipitation type in inches, and also showing sea level pressure. You can see how we get snow showers in the mountains and rain showers in the lowlands, mainly from California, northern California, up towards British Columbia. You can see as we get these showers through Sunday, there's also going to be this very weak frontal system that will bring some precipitation, some moderate mountain snow to British Columbia later on Monday and Tuesday, as that ridge tries to build in, and the ridge finally gets rid of all this moisture by early on Wednesday morning, which will finally dry out middle of next week. But that isn't super long lived, as we get that cold trough of low pressure and associated moisture and cooler temperatures into the region as we go through late Thursday night in the early on Friday. Might bring some breezy conditions to the coastline, but really not expecting too much impacts with that. The storm systems this time of the year are starting to lose a lot of their fuel. We can sometimes get major storm systems all the way until May, but they can become increasingly not likely. And then you can see continued shower activity as that trough of low pressure likely continues to remain over part of the region. But we'll continue to look at the finer details as we get closer to next weekend. Now looking at the 2-meter temperature anomaly, basically how far away the temperature is going to be from normal for this time of the year. You can see generally much below average temperatures for the desert Southwest, a bit below average for the Pacific Northwest as well, including British Columbia. We kind of keep that those below normal temperatures all the way through Monday before that weak frontal system moves through and that ridge starts to build in. And you can see much above average temperatures expected for parts of Oregon and California. Some of those above average, the seasonal temperatures getting all the way up in the Washington, southern BC. Really not expecting a huge warm up for Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia, but we can still expect some nicer weather and likely a lot less clouds. Now looking at the National Blend of Models, it's the daily max 2-meter temperature. You can see high temperatures this weekend, generally in the 50s for Western Washington, Oregon, Southwest BC Fahrenheit. And you can see also some high temperatures in the Columbia Basin approaching 60 degrees, which is not That's not out of the ordinary for this time of the year. And you can see California generally slightly below average, also with temperatures in the middle, the upper 60s, with some of the desert areas getting over 70 degrees. But you can see as we go through the next couple of days, temperatures really start warming up, with potential temperatures getting towards 60 degrees for the Seattle and Portland metro areas, maybe middle 60s as well as we go through Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you can see temperatures even approaching 70 degrees in the Columbia Basin. So definitely a warm up is going to be on the way after the couple days of showery and below average temperatures. So you can see even this is the National Blend of Malls. So this is the average of a bunch of different malls, and even the average is well over 80 degrees for parts of the central valleys of California, even some 90s in some of those extreme desert locations in the southwest United States along the Arizona-California border. As we go through Thursday and Friday, you can see we start cooling off by Friday, though, as that cold trough of low pressure starts moving down and cools us down as we go through the weekend. Now, looking at total precipitation inches, if we just go through the next week, you can see really not much precipitation in the way for Washington, Oregon, and California. Really almost nothing for California over the next week or so. But you can see some of the coast mountain range up in the British Columbia area. You can see maybe approaching like 2 to 4, maybe even 5 inches of rainfall as we go through the next week or so. And if we go over the millimeters for all the people in Canada watching these videos using the metric system, you can see rainfall amounts approaching 80 to 150 millimeters of rain. So definitely a good dousing of rainfall for some of those coastal mountain ranges up in British Columbia. And you can also see that the Cascades and Olympic Mountains may approach 1 to 2 inches of rain over the next week or so. Now looking at total snowfall for the same week, you can see the light mountain snow in the parts of the Cascades and Olympic Mountains of Washington and Oregon. You can see some snowfall for parts of Idaho and Montana out there. You can also see the Canadian Rockies getting a good dousing with over a foot of snow in some of the higher terrain. But definitely the coast mountain range over in British Columbia is definitely going to be the winner here, with over a couple of feet of snow possible for them, which is going to be over 100 centimeters of snow. So definitely beneficial up there. Now looking at the composite reflectivity on the HRRR model, this is taking a closer look at Southwest BC, Washington, Oregon, Northern California. You can see the showers and maybe isolated thunders. There's a very slight chance there's enough instability if we get some breaks in the sun to get an isolated thunderstorm or two in Western Oregon, Western Washington, but really not expecting very much with that. But there could be some a bit of intense rain in some of these showers as they move through over the next couple of days. Most of these showers should be out by later on Sunday afternoon. But then you can see that weak frontal system almost trying to mimic a weak atmospheric river starts moving in on Monday. But really, the mountains should be the ones getting most of the precipitation with that, with rain shadowing over parts of the Puget Sound in the northern Salish Sea. Now looking at the NAM3KM, this is composite reflectivity, just showing that it also agrees with the HRRR, maybe not as robust showers, but the NAM3KM tends to underdo the amount of rainfall with some of these showers, but the HRRR also tends to overdo them a bit. So we can kind of expect something in between, but you can also see that this model goes out an extra 12 hours. So we can see on Monday and Tuesday this week, frontal system finally starts dying over Western Washington, hardly even reaching Oregon as we go through later Monday and early Tuesday. So by early Tuesday around noon, most of the rain should be gone. Now looking at a nice graphic from the National Weather Service of Spokane, this is the outlook for the inland Northwest. This is basically Idaho and eastern Washington, parts of Oregon as well. You can see temperatures in between high temperatures around 40 to 60 degrees, starting to approach 70 degrees as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with that warm up. But you can also see it's that time of the year where they get kind of pretty warm during the middle of the day, but they also get very chilly with some potential freezing areas in the higher terrain, with low temperatures getting possibly into the upper 20s for some isolated locations out east in the Idaho Panhandle. But you can see also some isolated showers out east possible as well. Most of the showers should stay west of the Cascades, so Seattle and Portland are definitely under the gun mostly for these showers. And also, this is a graphic from the National Weather Service of Pendleton, Oregon. This is a good thing to keep in mind this time of the year. There's cold rivers and streams that will be very fast moving as that snow melts out there. So just be careful around any rivers and stuff. And please just really don't go venturing into the rivers, as the water is very cold and hypothermia can occur within 20 to 30 minutes, and that can signs of hypothermia include shivering, cold hands and feet, poor coordination, numbness, loss of dexterity, mental slugginess, pain from cold. So just please don't be doing anything dangerous around the rivers and lakes, as they are very cold, and those rivers and streams are running very fast with that spring snowfall melt. And this is a graphic from the National Weather Service of Portland, Oregon, showing the moderate sneaker wave threat. Just be careful out on the beaches today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Just please avoid jetties, headlands, and logs near the waterline beaches, as some of these waves can run up way higher than the rest of the waves, and it can sweep people off their feet. Now looking at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the National Weather Service climate prediction center. This is for valid from April 12th through the 16th, showing that above average temperatures possible as that ridge builds in for a few days. You also see that they're showing for the same time period below average precipitation expected for the western United States, as that ridge of high pressure moves all the moisture south and north of it. Also, the same outlook for April 14th through the 20th. The models are showing that potential trough to move down over the Pacific Northwest, so definitely expect this outlook to change, but the trough might move through rather quickly and have a ridge again build in behind it, so that they're keeping an eye on that. But there is potential for a few days below average in temperature wise, also below average precipitation as well. Any systems moving through that right now are not going to really have that much precipitation with them, which is why this outlook is showing below average temperatures. So we'll just continue to keep an eye on this through the next week or two. Well, that's it for this video, everybody. I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. Get out and enjoy any sun breaks that you can, as there will be on and off showers over the next couple days. But we can look forward to some nicer weather as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as that ridge of high pressure builds in over the area. But for now, there's showers moving into western Washington, Oregon, and southwest British Columbia right now with some higher clouds. The cloud cover forecast for Monday for the eclipse is only going to be about the solar eclipse happening on Monday is only going to be about a 10 to 20% visibility for the Pacific Northwest, and with that weak frontal system moving down, there's really not going to be any viewing really possible for that. You really need to go out towards Texas, Arkansas, and all the way out east to see any of the good stuff. So I hope everybody is just going to have a great weekend. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to everybody in the next video.